Harmonize a lot. And
on one hand, if the administration through President Tinubu is saying we have met our target without borrowing, then why is the finance minister and other finance-related authorities speaking about loans and borrowings and going to the National Assembly? They don't seem to correlate. Perhaps you can explain that to Nigerians who don't understand how you have met your revenue, but you're still borrowing. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I'm Bolaji. The tax reform laws that were recently passed, I had an idea that okay, they will start effective. Number two,
sure all deductions are captured for personal income tax and CIT starting January 2026. That's one. Okay. Silverbird, please.
Stop printing, and then the whole loan is taken as federal government loan. And you know we are paying principal, we are paying interest. So the loan, that is why there is stability in the system. Have the pressure on exchange rate because in, all pillars of the real economic indices are firmly grounded. So it's not about how much, it is about the fact that it is well recognized in federal government book and as part of the loan that has interest and that we are paying back. And that is what I mean by we stopped it. Not only that we stopped it, we are servicing the loan. And when you say you service the loan, what it means that you pay capital, you pay interest depending on the approved tenor of that interest. That is what it means. My sister from Marais, thank you for your good question. And it is the right time to check. Because without want to throw any jibe, well, what is the component of a budget of a country? So you have your expenditure, you have your revenue, and you have loan in all budgets. So if my expenditure for this year is 100,000, and my plan is that 80 will be from my revenue and I will borrow 20. And I've done revenue of 90 and I'm borrowing according to what I have in my budget of borrowing 10. So what is the problem in that? And another thing that people should understand, borrowing is not a problem. Don't forget that banks are part of our economic ecosystem. There is no country or an individual in the world that survives based on his own income. Don't forget that when government borrows from banks, we pay interest. It's from that interest they pay their salary. It is from the salary that bank pays that they pay taxes to state government. It is from this profit, difference between deposit and lending, that give them profit that I collect tax from. So when you say you go for lending, what anybody, anywhere, is that you go for sustainable. And that is why you see what Mr. President or Minister of Finance, have you ever had Minister of Finance say that he's borrowing to pay salary or to do anything? And why do you do it? I'll give you a typical example. Look at this structure that we are in. Imagine that it has not been built the year it was built. How much will it cost today? So you borrow in order to beat their cost in the future. That's one. Secondly, you borrow because of what we call matching concept in business, most especially when you have continuity. Anything that I will use that will go beyond my lifetime, why do I need to use my own time to do it? So when you borrow to do road and you collect taxes in the future for anybody that is using that road to pay their own fair share. So when you see we borrow, it is part of economic plan. And you, any company or any country that will grow has to borrow, because it is part of the ecosystem of a viable nation. So when those people that are just container economics, they say they borrow, they do things, I look at them. And you will see that as much as you invite me, because sometimes you look at those people that want to engage you, and these, do they really ask the right question? Or do they even understand, or they are also downloading what people are downloading on WhatsApp? And and they are asking questions. So when Mr. President said we met or we are doing well in revenue, and say, hey, why are they borrowing? Is borrowing not part of the budget we submitted to National Assembly? Is it not what is approved? Are we borrowing outside what is approved? But you know, most of them, they find it difficult to just check what goes on, and thank God our people are here to do that. Now, the last question before we go to the next set is the commencement on the law. If you look at it, we have 4 tax acts. One is Tax Act, which is law. The other one is Tax Administration, which what shows how do you administer. The other one is Nigeria Revenue Service, and the other one is Joint Tax Board. Now, if you are as an accountant, CIT, company income tax, is on preceding year basis. What does that mean? It is the profit you make this year that will tax next year. Now, federal government time, our year start from January to December. So if you are changing law that has to do with historical, for you to make it work, because Mr. President is a planner, is a strategist, he understands this because it's what he has done before, is that it is better you start execution or commencement of tax acts in January, because that is your year. But the other administrative one become effect from the day Mr. President signs, because normally we could have done that differently in another way. That could have been done. So the other tax, apart from tax acts and tax administration, take effective 1st of January. But the other one, because it's just changing law that has nothing to do with time, that one thing. And then when you talk about the when the name will be changed and everything, honestly, effective from the day Mr. President has signed, will become Nigeria Revenue Service. So you understand, from the day that so as it stands today, we are Nigeria Revenue Service because it has been put into effect. And if you look at our internal workings, you will see that that is what we've done. So we will take other questions the last round.
Yes, before I call the next person, will be from Silverbird. I have the question online.
Okay.
One Chooks, there's a Chooks OD is asking, oh, Chooks, okay.
Nigeria operates a fiscal federation, meaning that there are some activities that are for states and some for federal government. Personal income tax is exclusive right of state internal revenue services, except for those people that are armed forces and even those that stay in Abuja, based to Abuja IRS. But we have joint tax board that coordinate, and our own is just to advise on the kind of template. If you look at the new law, both in joint tax board and also even Nigeria tax law, we've simplified the way this is going to be done. And very soon, I know the sensitization people, including my brother here, they will soon be armed properly to educate people on what needs to be done. On the fiscal responsibility that you spoke about the state and federal government, honestly, I believe that there may be more improvement that is expected, but it is not what we will do. That we will put plan in place to separate what federal is doing and what state government is doing. Now, we have a NEC, which is joint committee headed by Vice President, where both state and federal government relate and consult on what we do. And I think they are doing well there. There will always be room for improvement in anything we do as human, and I think that is being done. Now that we've solved greater problem, so the only thing we will continue to do now is to train people how to drive Tesla, how to do good road for Tesla, instead of training them how to manage B2. So you can see that it's a huge jump that we put in place. And then with your help, I know you will help us train proper driver and also check them whether they are not violating the rule and they are not taking one-way traffic. So I think that, and then you talk about the ease of doing business. One, if you look at Mr. President's decision to reform the tax law, that is the first thing. Because before now, you have probably 97 kind of taxes that a business must file, whether from local government, from states, from group, from a lot. With the tax bill, that has gone, and it has gone forever. That is the first one. Two is the clarity. Because the law you have, imagine the stamp duty law of 1937 when there was no internet. How do you interpret that? And that is what put burden. So what Mr. President has done by tax law is to help the business to run and take orders from them. And why is that important for us? If you listen to Mr. President, he will tell you that I'm not ready to tax poverty. I want to tax prosperity. I'm not focusing on seed. I want to focus on the fruit. The best way to do that is to water the tree so that we have better fruit. And that is when they say the Nigeria Revenue Service, our own is revenue collection. So the law is very clear. I collect 30% at least today from your profit. If you make 100, I will take 30. If you make 200, I will take 60. If you make 300, I will take 90. If I want to make more, I must help you to make more. And that is why you see that Mr. President's focus is to make business viable in Nigeria. And that is what you are seeing in the result. We've not changed tax law. We've not changed anything. And you are seeing the collection. Because not only that people are seeing what we are using their money for, apart from politics, where you see some people. People are really seeing what we are using their money for. And that is why you see compliance, voluntary compliance from companies, from individuals. And when you look at a lot of digitalization, automation, single window, where when you want to, if you place order on Amazon today, you only pay and the phone comes to you. The same thing is coming to our imports, or even exports. Mr. President is focusing on making sure that we have export-led economy, because now the fundamental is right. And that is the focus. So when you look at that, you will see that under the leadership of Mr. President, ease of doing business is top priority, and we showed that. So I will not allow everybody to know how I'm collecting it. So the only thing is that if you want to know, the recruitment portal will be so it will be very difficult to tell you how we are doing it, but God is helping us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I believe it's been a very mutually engaging exercise. We have come to the end.
I said you don't need a TIN number to operate your bank account. The only unique identity required and which will become mandatory, which as already stated in the NIMC law, is NIN. When you have it, TIN automatically comes to you. And I know from the last work they've done, they've actually produced TIN number for all the people that possess the NIN. So it is automatic. And what you would need in your bank is your NIN, not your TIN number.
Thank you very much, sir.
Good evening, everybody. My assignment is to thank everybody. I want to, first of all, start thanking our guest, Engineer Zach Adedij. I think he has already given us an insight into what the collection of tax or taxes under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and why the taxes are going up, why the collections are going up. And some insight into what we are going to expect from January 1st when the new tax law comes fully into effect. I hope we'll be able to decipher what he said so that we don't just go and publish something that is wrong outside there. Please let's do justice to it. I think this issue, we asked it to come because of what we found in some papers, some commentaries, by some people saying that, oh, why are we celebrating the increase in tax collection? That you have not really achieved anything. And that after all, you have devalued Naira. So the volume we are getting because of the devaluation. And I said, no, you have to come and explain this thing. And if you do a simple mathematics, if in 2023, what is being shared in at the FEC, or no, at the FAC FAC was 700 billion, and today you are sharing 2 billion or 2 billion plus, you see the effect. Divide it, if I divide it by, because at the time we are talking about, in the real value of the Naira, it was about 800 Naira in the parallel market. And today, it's about 1,500 Naira. So if you do simple mathematics, you find that what they are saying does not hold water. It's nonsense. And the reason is that the revenue drive has increased, and we expect that in the new year, things will even get much, much better. So thanks, Mr. Adedeji, thanks for the insight, and I hope our colleagues will report this, what you have done today, very well. Thank you once again. I want to thank all the members of the team who came with him. Thank you. I want to see you all over again.
Thank you.